Greetings Internet, and welcome back for another early morning's presentation. And today I figured I would do another check out my junk. Alright, so for this video, I'd like to preface it by saying, well, by kind of talking about my childhood a little bit, because this ties into my childhood. When I was a little kid, going to like grade school and like preschool and that era, I think right around that time, there was one TV show on Nickelodeon's Nick Jr. block that I used to love. I mean, I adored this show. A little piece of media history known as Eureka's Castle. Now, when I was a little kid, like I just said, I used to love this show for two characters in particular. Batley, who was just this, like, kind of obnoxious, arrogant blue bat who was always wearing like this tuxedo. Hold on just a moment, the oven just beeped. I gotta put my food in it so I can put that food in my mouth. I'll be back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. And also, I messed up just a little bit. He wasn't wearing a tuxedo. He was wearing like a windbreaker and like a Hammerman style pants, if I'm remembering correctly. Y'all can look him up. Just Google Eureka's Castle Batley. But anyway, he was one of the two characters that I absolutely adored on that show. The other one was this big, derpy green dragon with a tail with a mind of its own, known as Magellan. And, well, there was also a third character. For the life of me, I can't remember his name, at least not right this second, but he, like, owns this food cart that he would push around and bring around to the people of Eureka's Castle, you know, give them stuff to eat and such. But anyway, those three characters I loved to death. And this past summer, my sister was so very nice to me in that while she was out and about with my grandparents, they went to a thrift store out in, I don't know if I should say the actual area because, whatever, they were at Hartville. I've talked about the Hartville flea market before, so why not talk about Hartville? Anyways, they were out in the Hartville area at this little thrift store type place, and she happens to track down one of the Burger King, I want to say, fast food hand puppets from the show. And let me check here. Okay, it doesn't say. But anyway, she was able to track down a little hand puppet of my first favorite childhood character from Eureka's Castle, Magellan. And there's his big tail. They used to always go knocking things over and he'd be like, "Oh, now look what you've done." And then he would saunter off the screen. But I don't know what my fascination was with him, but I used to be obsessed with this guy. So yeah, today's Check Out My Junk video is about him. Yay! Happy hands! Now, if memory serves me correctly, there was a whole set of these. I think as a kid I actually had the Batley one for a while. I know I had Eureka. And of course now I have Magellan. But I can't think of if there were any more than that, because those are the only three I know of that exist. I mean, they might have had some of the I want to say slurms, but I'm not entirely sure. The weird worm creatures that were like these little clay strings, or little strings of clay that would just squirm around on the floor going like... If you look up the intro to the show, you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, Eureka's Castle trademark and copyright, 1990 MTV Networks, made in China, LE. Whatever the LE stands for. But anyway, he's in pretty good shape, considering his age. He's got a little bit of a scuff mark on his shoe there, and he's got some kind of funky brownish black thing going on, like right there. And he's got like a spot under his chin. But beyond that, it looks like he is in really good shape. He's got a couple little scuffs here and there, and he's got some discoloration, but it's Magellan. Who cares if he's a little beat up? The other thing that I find is kind of absolutely adorable about him is the fact that he is a dragon wearing a dinosaur patterned Hawaiian shirt. Not to mention, check out those pink and white high tops he's got going on there. The pastels, the bright colors, this guy just screams 90s. 90s! But yeah, I was just absolutely focused on my Ninja Turtle collecting, and then one day out of the blue my sister's like, oh brother, I have a surprise for you. And I'm like, okay, is it Ninja Turtles? She's like, no, but he is green. Is it this thing? No. Is it that thing? No. You want a hint? Yep. It's from this show. And I was like, which show? We both watched it as kids, and there was this bat, and I was like, Batley? Maybe? Because my sister likes to really play up the suspense card on occasion. So I was like, okay, so you got me a puppet of Batley? And she was like, maybe. You'll have to wait until you come over this weekend to see it. So I spent the entire weekend thinking that she had tracked down another one of those Batley puppets like I was talking about. Because like I said previously, I actually had one when I was a child. I also had the TV tray, which at some point I think I might try and track down the TV tray. It was such a cool thing. But anyway, so she says, or she told me all that. Oh, he has another little marking on his tail. 72? Yep, 72. But she kept me in suspense throughout the entire week because they had gone on a Sunday that my sister and I didn't hang out. And that next Sunday that rolled around, because my sister and I usually hang out that day on the weekends, I finally was able to go over to her place. And now she had this in a one of those little brown paper bags that she had gotten it from, or gotten it in at that store. And I was like, okay, so where's Batley? She's like, he's over there in the closet. Because she'd hidden him from me. Yeah, big surprise there. So I go over to the closet and I pull out this brown paper bag and I'm like, this it? Yep. And she's like, go ahead, open it. I was like, okay, I'm going to open it, but first I'm going to try and guess if it actually is Batley. And she's like, okay. So I grab the bag and I'm like, crinkle, 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 crinkle. That's a lot larger than I remember Batley being. And she's like, yep, it's not Batley. And I'm like, but you just led me on this whole week saying what? Nope, it wasn't Batley. I'm like, okay. So I open up the bag and my sister had him in there upside down. So I came face to face with this gaping hole in the vinyl. And I was just like, is Magellan? And she's like, ding, 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 you got it! So I took him out of the bag and was like, aww. Because, I mean, he is just adorable. Oh, a little fun fact about Eureka's Castle. For those people on this internet, on this big old World Wide Web, is there anyone else out there who remembers a certain series of famous children's scary stories books. Yep, if you're all thinking what I'm thinking, Goosebumps. Goosebumps actually relates to Eureka's Castle. How, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. R.L. Stine, the author of the Goosebumps series, as well as Fear Street and a bunch of other random series, was actually a puppeteer on Eureka's Castle. And if I'm not mistaken, from what I've read, he actually helped to maneuver around and puppet Magellan, of all characters. Or was it Batley? I know it's one of those two that he used to help move around on screen. But R.L. Stine, the author of the Goosebumps books, had a hand in this puppet show. Huh? Huh? That was bad, I know, but I don't care. It is too early in the morning for this. But yeah. This has been my check out my junk for the week. So, I know y'all are probably getting sick of me saying this by now, but he is so adorably pudgy and goofy, and let's face it, he was also adorably stupid in the show. But you gotta love him. So, to my subscribers, to any of you who are old enough to actually remember Eureka's Castle, who was your favorite character? Was it by any chance Eureka? Magellan? Batley? The giant who wound the music box that was Eureka's Castle at the beginning? The cart guy? Let me know down in the comments below. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is Oxleymations saying, Cowabunga, and I'll catch y'all in the next episode. Bye-bye!